Austin from Win and Woo invites me over to Robbie's house, and I had never met him before. And he was like, I'm doing a session with Rob, like you should come. And I literally give myself like a pep talk. I was like, just don't fuck this up. You know what I mean?
Did you talk in the mirror and everything?
Dude, everything. Like
Nice.
I brought and so what I did was on my way to the session, I bought Pop-Tarts because I'm like even if this goes horribly, at least
least
he'll
you have
remember me.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
It's okay to be fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are we like? We're rave kids. Like what the fuck? We're all a little weird.
We're,
Like
yeah,
lean
we're
into
rave
it.
for a living. You know
know?
what? Whatever.
Because I think I'm peaking. Peaking.
Welcome back to the I'm Peaking podcast. Question of the day today is, what was your first house set that got you into the genre, if at all?
Crazy. I would say I guess it's like house, somewhat like reminiscent of house. It was a trance set. It was Above and Beyond at
Okay.
Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
And I went to that solo.
Yeah.
It's like a whole story of how I ended up at Lollapalooza, but that was the one that I went by myself, which by the way, I don't know if you guys have been to like shows by yourselves, but it's actually kind of a thing. Like it's pretty sick.
Yeah, like going solo.
It's pretty sick. You know, like there's obviously like your rave crew, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But going by yourself was like, especially for my first time, was like, gave me a really big appreciation for it and
Yeah.
kind of let me like be in my own world for a second.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so what's the story of how you got to Lollapalooza?
Oh yeah, can I rip it?
Yeah, rip it.
Okay, yeah. So basically, here's the story. So my older brother lives in Chicago. Oh yeah, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Yes.
My older brother lives in Chicago, and I went to go visit him for a weekend. I was like 14 or 15, I think, and he was living like in downtown, and I always loved Chicago growing up. It was kind of my big city. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, so it was like a 4-hour
Okay.
drive there, and
Yes.
he's way
We
older
did do
than
some
me.
research on you.
We
Okay,
stalked
yeah,
you.
hey, I don't know. And so anyways, that was kind of my big city growing up, and I went to visit him one weekend, and a kid that I we don't
Wait,
have to talk
Russian
about
math camp?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, yeah. Well,
a kid that I went to camp with, I was like meeting up with him, and he was like, "Are you going to Lollapalooza this weekend?" And I was like, "What is that?" Because I was like 14, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
electronic music in Louisville was not cool like at all. You know,
Yeah.
it was like mostly
you grew up on
hip-hop
hip-hop stuff, right? Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, we
All right.
stalked.
Okay.
We did our research.
Okay. So yeah, I went to go meet up with him, and he was like, "Are you going to Lollapalooza?" And I was like, "What is that?" And he was like, "It's this music festival, like you can't miss it." And I was like, my first thought was like, I can't afford it. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, this is still kind of one of the greatest miracles of my origin stories. I had $200 in my wallet, which is like such a wild thing for me at that point in my life.
as
you
a
know?
14-year-old?
Yeah.
Dude,
That's a
I,
lot of
didn't-
money.
I didn't grow up with like money, you know, like that was like a moment where I was like, how is there 200? I think I had just started my first job at Dick's Sporting Goods, and maybe it was like my first paycheck. Or
Okay.
I don't quite remember, but I had $200 in my wallet. I found a dude that was selling a ticket on Facebook Market, or I think it was before even Facebook Marketplace was a thing, and I met up with him. I made him like walk me to the thing to make sure that it was real or whatever. I got 2 tickets, 2 3-day passes for $200, which
Period.
that's a deal. You know, I mean, that's a deal and a half. Like I wasn't sure if I
What
was getting
year was this?
2014.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. No,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I wasn't sure if I was like getting scammed or like whatever.
Yeah.
And anyways, I like walk up, I go see Above and Beyond. I actually realized that I knew the music because my brother, who is way older than me, like put me onto electronic music when I was a little
Yeah.
kid. Like in 2nd grade, he gave me his iPod Classic, and I went way down this electronic rabbit hole. I was always like this kid in like middle school that like I was like outwardly being really into rap music, but internally like my guilty pleasure was listening to like
It's kind of like
the
I
electronic
can
music.
relate. I can
can
relate.
relate.
Yeah. I'm sure all of us are a
No,
little
literally.
weird. You know what I mean? I think. But yeah. Anyways, like so, I actually knew the songs because like Thing Called Love and Sun and Moon, which are like some of their bigger records, like we would drive around Chicago listening to all the time. And long story short, I like made up this whole story to my parents because we had to leave, but I had a 3-day pass, and I made up this whole story to my parents. I'm like, yeah, like I'm like, we went back to Louisville on Saturday, and I was like, I'm gonna. Like I realized at like 6 a.m. Sunday morning, I was like, I have a 3-day pass, and like Skrillex is playing tonight, 5 hours away, and my friend Lauren has a car, so I was like, if I gave you my extra ticket, could we just go together? And like literally my mom is calling me and she's like, how's like your school project going, honey? And I'm like, and my parents are like immigrant parents, so they like weren't really cool with me like being
I understand,
and I'm like front row at Skrillex just like playing Scary Monsters. And I'm like, yeah, like it's going great, Mom.
That's like the meme.
Did she ask like,
so
why is it so
funny.
loud?
Yeah,
Like,
I said we're cleaning up the gymnasium, and we're just playing like music.
That is such a meme.
I told my parents that story for the first time when I played Lollapalooza this year.
Yeah.
That was because that was the first show they ever went to.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to have like a confession moment. I was like, I lied to you 10 years ago.
Wow.
But look at me now.
Yeah.
What a full circle moment,
That's
but
funny.
also I'm sure like you just healed your inner child like
Oh my
doing
god.
that.
Oh my god, for sure.
That's
both
so
like
funny.
both at that time in 2014, 2015, and this year playing it. It was
Yeah.
like I made like a whole intro for my show that was basically just like I made it the night before, and it was I just asked all my friends that I went to the festival with the second year that I went to just send me like all the pictures. And then what's crazy is I look out during my set and they're all there, and I didn't know they were gonna be there
wait.
because they were like I didn't play like some massive headliner slots, so like my guest list was like my family,
Yeah.
you know. And then I look out, and like literally the night before I asked them to send me the videos, I had no idea they were there, and I look out and I'm like playing my intro, and I like see like 7 of them, you know, and then they don't live in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I
they
mean?
flew out.
So they like
Yeah.
flew out.
That's awesome.
For the set. It was a moment, dude. It was honestly like, yeah, it was. Sorry, the original question was the house music question. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Don't
It's
be
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
I asked for you to dive into it because these are solid moments that people love to listen to. People love to hear these true raw like rave moments.
Yeah.
Because like look at you now, like you're actually like contributing to the scene in a way where it's like that's something that you wanted to do, and like people like are inspired by that.
Well, I mean, that's really like an honor coming from you guys, because I feel like you guys are the most massive scene contributors. So I'm just happy to be involved.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Oh my God.
Okay, but house artist though, yeah. I
Yeah.
am curious. What
Yeah.
what
It was Above and
what's the
Beyond.
first? Oh, above and beyond. Yeah,
Above
I
and
guess
Beyond. Yeah,
technically.
Above and
Okay.
Big
Yeah,
room
that's
counts, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was also super into Martin Garrix at the
Yes.
time
Okay.
as well.
See,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it was.
Okay.
Then my first house set was 2017 when I went to EDC for the first time.
Who?
Martin Garrix.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah.
Goat.
Mine
Yeah.
was I feel like it was someone. It was probably someone else that I don't remember, but the one that like sticks with me the most is probably Audion. Back when he did Progressive House. I mean, he still does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably that
Progressive
was
House
in
never dies, baby.
Yeah, 20.
Never.
I think that was 2014. Yeah, because that was Hard Summer was my first rave, or I guess I mean it's more of a music festival. I feel like, but it's rave. Yeah. But yeah, and then I loved it so much. I went to Nocturnal the month after. And that's Audion was playing, and I remember Audion was supposed
What
to play.
year?
2014.
Oh.
He was supposed to play at Sun God that year. My first, yes, I mentioned Sun God. Oh. I've mentioned it like a bunch of times.
It's an
anyways.
inside joke.
Yeah, it's an inside joke. But so he was supposed to play at Sun God, but then he got sick, and so he had to call off literally the day before. And I was like listening to his music the whole, because I didn't know who he was before
Yeah.
Sun God, and so I was listening to his music all the way up until the event. And then he canceled the day before, and I was like, no. And then so I got to see him over the summer for that, and then he came back to UCSD and he played like his own little thing. So it was pretty cool.
Dude, Wayfarer by Audion is one of the most classic songs
Dude,
of that era.
I could name like all of his like classics at the time, like Leaving You, Iris, Hindsight,
everything on like Enhanced and Anjuna at the time. Yeah, like he was such a. I saw him again at Lollapalooza in the rain.
Yeah,
like it
all
was,
his remixes too.
bro. Like the Pompeii one's
Yeah,
classic,
the Pompeii
bro.
one. You know, he did a Michael Jackson one too, the Slave to the Rhythm.
I thought I knew all of it. No, I didn't
Really?
see that one.
Oh, I'll play it on the bonus.
bro,
then.
you have to.
I'll play it on the bonus. It's so
I was an
good.
Audion fanboy, bro.
Yeah, dude, me
Like,
too.
No,
yeah.
same.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Was
So-
Lollapalooza kind of like the defining moment where it was like, oh, I'm going to be up there?
That it was like so clear, because at the time I was, well, not that I would be, but that I wanted to try. You know what I mean? Like when I was in middle school and high school, I got into music. You know, I had this iPod that was my guilty pleasure, but I was also actively trying to find ways to get involved. And my kind of way of getting involved was like recording local rappers.
Cool.
And then eventually I started making beats for them. And then when I went to that festival, I was like, oh my God, I could actually do it myself too. You know, I was always I was never sure that I really wanted to be like this front-facing artist. I think I kind of just fell into it over time. But at Lala, it was very much a moment of like, oh my God, like I don't even have to rely on kind of other people's schedules and whatnot, like I can kind of just like sample stuff or remix stuff or kind of do it on my own. So that was like my first aha moment of like, oh my God,
Sick.
you can do it. You
Yeah.
know?
100%.
Yeah.
Bryn, what's yours?
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Look,
yeah.
Oh my
I-
God, I'm sorry.
I don't know how y'all remember. No, I wanted to hear about you. That's why. But like, I don't even remember. All I know is I love Chris Lake, Ante Up, Chris Lorenzo, party house music.
Have you heard
Chemistry
Chris?
is such a good album. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, sorry. No, go ahead. No, you're totally right. By the way, have you heard Chris Lake's newest song?
Yes. Well, his whole album.
Oh, okay. You listened to the
Yes.
album. Okay.
From
Yeah.
beginning to end.
Oh, okay.
Play, and then I let it play.
Okay. I only heard.
I know one of them is
Why am
like
I forgetting
reach,
what it's
like
called?
reach
On
for
and
you.
on and on.
On and on. Yeah.
On and
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I
So
got you,
good.
bro.
I'm terrible
On and
at
On is-
remembering shit.
That was actually really interesting because the intro song to the album is he just I realized how important the intro song to a record is. Like
Yes.
he just came out the gates and within 10 seconds of listening to that album, I was like, I'm obsessed with this. I'm gonna listen to it like 1,000 times.
Nice.
Yeah. Reach for You is fire with MPH. Yeah, that's a great one too.
I sent my dad On and On, and he was like, "I'm adding this immediately." My dad's a big house fan.
Wow,
so
let's go.
I
Love
know.
that.
I know. All right. Well, let us know in the comments what house set was your first that got you into the genre. I'm gonna go ahead and get us into a proper intro here. I know Mickey's got a little intro for our guy Daniel Allan here. So, but welcome back, like I said, to the I'm Peaking podcast. My name's Devin, and who else do we have here?
Bren.
Mickey.
I get so awkward about it all the time.
Huh? That's the whole
Just
point.
like, Bryn, Mickey. Okay. Anyways, Mickey, I know you have
Okay.
an intro.
So today we got someone who's been dropping some serious bangers in the EDM scene. He's overstimulated dance floors from LA to the festival circuit to making everyone hit the replay button on his tracks. He's got a way of mixing energy and feels that's hard to ignore. Whether you're vibing out to his latest release or catching him live on stage, one thing's for sure. This guy knows how to get a crowd moving. His breakout song, I Just Need, proved that what we need is more Daniel Allan.
Let's go.
That's so sweet. What the heck? That is the coolest intro I've ever gotten.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so
So happy
much.
you're here.
That was so sick. Wow, I'm so happy to be here.
Hell
guys.
yeah! Thank you for coming
Of course.
and for bringing Starbucks to Mickey.
Oh, I got you. I got
So we'll get us started with our first question here. I'm gonna pass it off to Bryn. You're supposed to ask the question.
Oh, sorry.
you. We're all Bryn.
What? What do you? We just asked that within conversation. The question was when your first festival was. But Lollapalooza, was that your first festival?
So actually, there are some semantics here. So Forecastle was a festival in Louisville, and I went to Lollapalooza 2 weeks later.
Okay.
Forecastle's not a thing anymore, which is really sad because that was the only festival that's in my hometown in Louisville. But I saw two artists there, and I saw like 20 minutes of each of their set. So it wasn't really like a full festival experience. It was the first person I ever saw live. I saw the first 20 minutes of his set was Chrome Sparks, and then I think the next day I saw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, legend. And then the next day I saw Flume right at the time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think it was I
At
think
his
it was,
peak too. Oh
bro.
my god.
It was actually like almost right before it was right when it was happening because
Yeah.
I think you and me had gotten on radio like the week before.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
You know?
didn't Tennis Courts remix come out?
Iconic.
That whole era, I just blacked out that whole
Iconic.
era.
I think it
you know?
came out then because I was also in the like dance community. I was very involved, and so I know a bunch of dancers did like dance choreography covers to that song.
That changed everything.
That
Yeah,
song didn't
for
even
sure.
get fully released until like 10 years
I
later.
know.
That's
crazy,
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, Forecastle was first, and then Lollapalooza was like the first. It's like the raver story. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think a lot of people from LA might have that with Coachella or EDC or whatever, but for me, Lala was like, I'm in love with this. I want to try doing it. So
And what kind of like raver did you come in as? Like, were you like, just regular clothes, like jeans, Vans, or like, did you already know about the culture coming in?
So at
Yeah.
first, my first festival I went to by myself. So I was wearing the clothes on my back. I didn't even plan for it.
Yeah.
But then as I started finding like kind of my community and my group, we definitely went for it.
Okay.
Like,
Hell
we definitely
yeah.
went for it as the years went on, and we had all the candy going. And we had all the
Okay,
necklaces
nice.
going.
Wait, that's
Yeah,
so
nice.
lit.
Yeah.
Do
We
you still
did-
have photos up?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, dude, I have like photos on my Instagram from like 6 years ago. Like,
That's
yeah,
so
I mean,
lit.
yeah,
Damn.
we definitely did it. We definitely did it the proper way.
Good.
Nice,
That's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, and
That's
then
cool.
we also would bring a gallon of water in as well, which I don't know if that's allowed
Yo,
anymore.
you definitely cannot do
But-
that anymore.
Wait,
but-
how did you? Was it allowed back then?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. At Lala it was. There's a video of me front row at the Chainsmokers. It's in their vlog, and you could like see it, and you could see my gallon of
That's
water.
so
That is
funny.
so
sitting,
funny.
just sitting in front of me. I guess that's a good question. I don't really know how I got it in. It was like obviously
He's
sealed,
got
Huh.
it in.
but it was like, we get
But a
creative
whole
at
gas
festivals.
gallon. That's crazy.
Maybe because it was
Yeah.
sealed.
Yeah, I think it's because it was sealed, but you could
Yeah.
see it in the video, just like my dorky ass, like front row, like wearing like a headband and with my gallon of water.
That's so
front row.
funny.
I showed the Chainsmokers that the first time we worked together, and it was like,
Really?
And Drew looked at me, he's like, "That's kind of weird." I was like,
You're kind of insane.
I want to touch on something because you said that you have your Instagram has photos for the past 6 years, but a lot of the time artists tend to like delete things like for their artist project, or they feel as if they have to like when they release something delete it all. Like, why is it that you kept it and that you kind of ignored like that? Like I don't know if it's just like I don't even know what it is. Like I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my artist story is just being really honest about like where I'm at and where I come from, and I don't really feel a need to like hide anything. Like I and that's not to say like I think that plenty of artists like doing such an amazing job curating like beautiful pages. You know what I mean?
I think it's just preference.
And I kind of am just like, if you scroll down Fred Again's Instagram, you could see like his first post that has like 200 likes on it. That's, him starting. And I feel like that gives artists like me hope.
True.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah,
damn,
it's cool.
He kind of went from point A to point B, and you can kind of see it. Like when I Just Need happened, I posted the 192nd video that I posted is the one that went viral. And I want like kids to go through that and see that, because
Yeah.
when I was like, in high school, like starting to get into dance music, it was really hard for me to like find resources outside of the songs themselves. Like I would go to that was the SoundCloud era, and everything was very music forward, which was
Yeah.
like beautiful in its own right,
Yep.
But it was really hard for me to find tips and to find kind of like a mentor, inspiration, or anything like that. So I kind of leave my stuff up because I kind of want kids to be able to scroll back and be like, damn, I might be at this point right now, but look at him. Like he maybe went from point A to point B, so I could do it too. So I'd say that's probably why I leave it
Yeah.
up.
Wait, so how did you find those tips?
I just kept trying, and it was a lot of trial and error, and it still is a lot of trial and error every day. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of just try to make like little song ideas every day, and most of them are horrendous, and I'm not being like nice. Like they just suck. You know?
You're just creating. You're allowing your body just to create.
Yeah, I just kind of keep trying, and I think a lot of what I've been doing online is just me trying to do that more publicly. But it's still the same thing I would be doing otherwise. I've just been like talking to a camera more, which is, I don't know how you guys do it. It's so hard. Like I have to wipe sweat off my face in between takes. It's crazy.
that is definitely something. When I record at home, I'm like
so
sweating
hard.
Dude,
bullets.
the
like,
amount of takes I have to do.
Well, I saw this guy
Yeah.
recently that said you just have to treat it like you're on FaceTime with your
Pretty
friends,
much.
and
Yeah.
that was a really useful like visualization thing for
yeah,
me,
yeah. I think
understand.
I think like you kind of psych yourself out if you're talking to it like, oh, I have to make this video about
For
this
sure.
thing right now. So that was something that I had to like kind of practice on too, because I started making like YouTube videos and stuff, and then I was just like, I feel like just talking to it, like, yeah, like exactly like you said, just talking to someone over FaceTime makes it a lot easier.
Cool. Yeah.
Also, speaking of I Just Need, so, I mean, first off, congrats on, I know it obviously came out a while ago, but like over 40 million streams on
Thank you.
Spotify. That is
Crazy.
awesome. I was wondering, like, was that a song that you wrote in like 20 minutes, or like, was that a song that like kind of just lived in your drafts for a while? The big stigma is that like sometimes the songs that you spend the least amount of time on end up being the best ones.
Yeah, what's so funny is both things are true. I made it really quick, and then I didn't think it was good, so it ended up in my drafts. For
Wow.
a while. It was the first song. So me and Lyra did a session. She's the vocalist,
Right, yeah.
and my collaborator on the record, and we did a session. I don't even remember how we met, but we worked together. I liked her music. I don't really know how I meet most people. It just kind of happens. And we did a session. The song we made was kind of cool. And I remember she had a dinner date that night.
Uh-huh.
And she kind of looked at me and she's like, I wonder how many good songs don't happen because of dinner dates. And she was kind of like joking. And I was like, we should just try one more idea. And then I just needed was like a 15-minute song. And it was like kind of that idea. I have a whole thought process on that, how I think whenever you make music, you should always end it with one quick idea because your guard is down.
Yeah.
And you actually, I think, are more honest about what you're trying to do.
Okay.
But it was literally a 15-minute song, and I literally just put it in a demo folder. I was working on an EP at the time, and I basically had what I thought were my main songs on it, like the best ones. Then I had this other folder that was like the demos that I'm just going to throw here just in case. And I put it in that folder, and I had 3 producers that I was sending like music to. Well, a lot of producers, but 3 people that they didn't really talk to each other. They all said that was the best song. It was Weethan, who was my next door neighbor at the time.
Oh, that's so funny.
It was Demo Tapes, and it was
Amazing
San
artist.
Holo.
all incredible artists.
Yeah, San sent me a voice memo one day. Like, this is way before the song comes out. He's like, I just need, like, just like walking through the park doing his San walk.
That's
you know?
so funny.
And I think at that point I was just like, maybe I'm wrong, like as the artist, because I think sometimes, like you said, I think artists create this thing where there's a correlation between how much time you spend on something and how good it is. And I think sometimes there is truth to that, but a lot of the times when people listen to a song, they're kind of like, is this good? Do I like it or do I not like it? And I don't think they think about like, oh, this person maybe spent like a year on it,
Yeah, for sure they don't. I think it was Jason Ross we had on the podcast.
I used to take a master class from him.
Oh,
in
really?
2016. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think it was him. He said when he was on the pod before that it's kind of, or maybe it was Trifecta. I can't remember. It was one of them, one of those guys. But they were saying how like once you make the song, it's just like, okay, well, how can I like not ruin this before it's like done?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think so many artists like hyper fixate on, how can I make this better? How can I make this better?
Yeah.
When like what you have is already really solid enough.
I mean, it's like
just
the Billie Jean story, like with Michael Jackson. They did like 76 mix passes and they ended up just releasing version 2,
Yeah,
But
wow.
a funny Jason Ross story is that, this will be like 10 seconds. I took a production masterclass from him in 2016 and we hadn't really talked and whatnot. And he kept actually reappearing in my life in really funny ways. Like I bought a synth off of like a girl that he was dating at the time. I was like, where'd you get this? She's like, my boyfriend, like Jason Ross. I was like, oh no shit. And then later on, we got reconnected like a month ago. And because I did a session with Dia Frampton, who's a singer that sings on a lot of his records. And she was like, oh, Jason, I tell her, I'm like, yeah, I took a production class from him in 2016. And so me and Jason got reconnected and he sent me an email that was a screenshot. Because I used to make music under a different artist project.
Right.
I was more like Anjuna Beats style.
Okay.
And I was like, I think I want to start an artist project. What do you think about the name Daniel Allan? And he has like my original email of me like brainstorming names for myself.
That's funny.
That's like my first and middle name.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a real one. He's a real one.
That's funny.
so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Wow, full circle.
Such a real one.
It always happens too, It's like I have so many stories just of like people that I used to. We got to have. I don't know if you're familiar with like Arias. They're the
I feel like I should be.
They're the husband-wife duo. They do the Laser Project. Have you seen like the viral?
Yeah.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
So
No way.
yeah, so Matt, who is the guy dancing, he was the old leader of Poriotics. And I grew up dancing in high school and stuff. And
Wait, this is all connecting.
yeah,
now.
and
Yeah.
Poriotics was the
Nostalgia.
first. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
the first dance crew I like saw, and I was introduced to like popping and isolation, which is like the style of dance that I did.
Wow.
And so it was like really a full circle moment. We had them on the podcast like a month ago.
Wow.
And he did a full Laser performance in the studio and everything. It was
Dude,
cool.
full circle moments are the most beautiful thing.
They
like,
really are.
When I was at that Chainsmokers show and I was front row.
Yeah.
And then when we started working together, like that whole thing. And then at my Lolla show, this kid made a video about how he was front row at my show. And how he's like, maybe one day I'll be able to play Lolla too, because he was front row Lolla, and he posted the video, and I was like, that shit made me cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got to keep going.
Yeah.
You got to keep going if you're watching this.
Yeah, you have to do it for you.
I saw that you also posted a video at Lollapalooza, like of you watching the visuals, like you were saying earlier. Is that something that you consistently do before every show? Of like you sit down and you watch like your visuals, or
Well, that was the first show that I just made the visuals for myself. I've been like really hands-on with like doing my social media stuff, but then I was like, I think there's actually something kind of beautiful if even if it's shitty, like I'm not I'm an artist. I'm a musician. Like I don't know a lot about like making crazy visuals, but I think the sentiment really matters, and I think that people can actually hear your voice better if you do it, even if it sucks. Like even if it's not some like I don't know how to use Blender. Like I can't do like crazy 3D shit, but I can definitely make it my own, even if it's not this crazy well produced thing. And so the Lala one, honestly, I started doing all of my custom intros after that and like looking at the screen more. But that honestly was just such a natural thing for me to do, because that entire day was so hectic. It was the first show my mom and dad were at, and I wanted to make sure they're a little older, so I wanted to make sure they were like comfortable and happy. And like my brother was there, my nieces were there. He's like 15 years older than me, and so he has 3 kids, and like that was their first show ever. You know, I just wanted to make sure.
And isn't Lollapalooza like all ages?
Yeah. I think, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone was having a good time. So that was like my first calm moment before the set, you know. And it's so funny, I didn't even realize there was like a camera in my face. Like I was just
you didn't even know.
None of that was planned. Like it was like I just kind of, one of my videographers that I toured with, Hudson, was like apparently he was there, you know. But I fully was like, that was the first set in my life, and that intro was the first intro that I felt like I 110% was present for. I think sometimes when I play shows, I'm just trying not to fuck anything up, you know. Like I'm having the most fun ever, but I'm also just like, oh my god, like I want to make sure people are dancing. I want to make sure I'm playing the right songs, and a lot of times I'm not even thinking. Like I'm just like, I'm like, all right, hit the transition.
You kind of black out.
Yeah, you kind of black out fully. And that was the first set that I kind of remember every second of, because I at that point I'm like, I did everything I could. You know what I mean?
Wait, but what changed? What like switched that flip?
Weirdly, I think having my mom and dad there was a thing, because my brother took my dad to Vegas like a couple months ago, and his favorite band's the Eagles. And my brother just called me after the show, and he's like, yo, I just want you to know, like I had to like wait for him like a few times for him to like keep, like he was walking slower. And my dad's an immigrant. My parents immigrated from Ukraine, and I really the immigrant in me like wanted to wait to like bring my parents to a show until I like sold out a Red Rocks one day. Like I wanted it to be perfect. And then in that moment, I was like, what if my dad can't make it to that show, you know? And that's why I was like, in that moment, I was like, even if there are 10 people here, like, I just kind of want him to see it, you know? Yeah. And I think kind of that's what really made me lock in on it, is like, because I saw like my mom and my dad when I was playing, you know? Like I like looked out and saw them there. So that was like it was a moment.
Yeah, you were in a whole like different emotional state.
I've just never played a show in that emotion. Like everything I do, I feel like is like that, but that was just like a very new show experience for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have they always been like pretty supportive of?
Well, you know what's so funny is like as immigrants, they have been very confused by it for a long time. But I think that as soon as I think they weren't really about like me telling them how much I was going to do it. I think they just wanted to see it. And now it's amazing. Like now they fully 180'd on it, and they're like, oh my God, you really care, you know? So I understand their perspective. They kind of gave up their lives to move to the US. And you know, it's a whole thing, and I know a lot of people can relate to it. It's not like it's not super unique to me or anything. But yeah, now I'm really grateful. Like I'll have a song come out. My mom loves my videographer Mark. She's just like, Mark is amazing. she like sees a video and she's like, Mark.
Shout out Mark.
And then my dad just went down like a 200 video liking spree.
On your page.
Like,
that's okay. My dad likes our podcast clips.
That's
I don't
so
know if you guys
funny.
yeah.
I think my mom does
He's
too.
liked all of our like recent ones.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We're like we're talking about Romo.
Wait,
I'm like, he has no
we're talking
idea
about
what
like
that
drugs
is.
here sometimes.
No, not as much anymore.
Okay, and not
but-
anymore. But like the first couple of like episodes, or maybe like the first year,
Yeah, we did talk
talked
about
a
that
lot
a
about
lot.
substances.
Fuck yeah.
But I don't know. My mom was just like, my mom found out.
Yeah, I mean I just smoked a cigarette in a video, and my mom was like, I loved your video. I was like, fuck. I was like, she saw it.
That's so funny.
I get it.
That's funny. All right, I'd like to take a quick second to thank our sponsor, Boom Boom Scented Nasal Sticks. If you don't already know by now, these are scented nasal sticks that you can use at music festivals. You can use them on an airplane. You can use them out really anywhere that
When
you
you're
are.
sick?
Yeah, when you're sick, they help with your congestion.
I can
give
attest
you
to that.
Kind of a refreshing boost of energy. All natural. and what else are they used for? Anxiety, nausea.
Working for 2 days straight.
It's all natural. There's nothing else in here. I
have like
promise.
5 of these. I have 5. I'm not even kidding. I have 5 of these lined up on my work desk, and I just like switch. I switch between all of
That's
them.
so funny.
No, that was my favorite.
That is
though.
so funny. Yeah, honestly,
so good.
they're like super underrated, but like if you have nausea or you get motion sickness, like these are amazing. Like you just stick these in your nose and just do like deep inhales with them, and it honestly helps the nausea go away. I swear to God.
Can I like hit one?
Yeah. Here,
We should get him a new
you did the
one.
lavender one already.
Get him
Here,
a
you wanna
fresh
try
one.
one of
Get
the-
him a fresh
New
one.
one.
These are fresh.
I'm down.
These are new ones.
I'll go used. It's
No,
all good.
these are new.
Okay.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah,
Do you want
I like
winter
the-
mint or regular mint?
I like the
One do you
winter
like?
mint.
Winter mint? Okay.
Yeah,
here,
because you
try
know
it.
like the 5 gum,
Wow, is this the same
like the
sensation?
5 gum. It smells like the 5
Wait,
gum.
how do I open this?
5
So just
Oh,
twist.
wow.
Yeah, you just twist it off. You know what?
Bro.
Yeah, right.
I like can't breathe out my nose, so this is amazing.
It opens up the sinuses.
Oh man, we're back.
Yes.
We're so
So
bad.
back.
So bad.
So yeah, definitely go and
So nice.
check them out. We do have a code if you want to go to their website and pick some up. Code I'm Peaking will save you some money. Or you can go over onto our TikTok shop, grab one. Or if you're in a hurry, you can go grab one at your local CVS, which they are in all CVSs now. So definitely go check them out. We
Wow,
love you guys. Boom
period.
boom. But yeah, so you got some music for us. We heard.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Show
Did
us
you
some music.
did you release some music recently?
Yeah, I just put out an EP.
Nice.
It's called Time Well Spent.
Oh yes. Okay. Gotcha.
It's basically about me trying to connect with like younger me, and like trying to like find childlike connections to like the 16-year-old Daniel, because
Yeah.
all the 16-year-old Daniel kind of cared about was making music. And I feel like as you get further along in music and as you play more shows, there are a bunch of other like things come into the fold of like how your career is going. And I feel like everyone I think can get caught up in that in
100%,
certain ways. And
yeah.
so I kind of made the project to remind myself that like I ran it through every song. I ran through the filter of like, would 16-year-old Daniel send this in his like rave group chat and be like, what genre is this? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I like
And,
that.
and so, yeah.
Perfect. Well, we'd love to hear.
Okay, cool.
One of the tracks.
Something about the look in your eyes. I know that we wouldn't survive. I'll just turn my heart to the sky. Pray this is the last goodbye. I bet you didn't need. I wanna be better. I bet you didn't need. I wanna be better, better. I wanna be better. I bet you didn't need.
So pretty. I need to do the front flick.
Dude, your stuff is always so clean.
Thank you, bro. That's so nice.
Something about the look in my eyes. You know that we wouldn't survive. I'll just turn my heart to the sky. When lightning strikes, it never hits twice. I start to feel you drifting in search of something, in search of something different. I feel the current shifting, and I'm not gonna miss it, miss it. I bet you didn't need. I wanna be better.
It's
I
cool.
bet you didn't need. I wanna be better, better. I bet you didn't need my love. I bet you didn't need. I wanna be better. I bet you didn't need.
Okay.
I bet you didn't need.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sick.
I bet you didn't.
Oh, so good. part.
I'm gonna like fade out of it. Like
Yeah. This is like exactly the kind of music I'm into right now.
heck yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Let's go. Fuck yeah. You like that fade out?
That's sick.
Yeah. So
Who's
pretty.
who did the who's the lyricist on that?
This girl Carly. Her name's Fake Blonde. She's from Toronto. She's super super talented. That was the first song that we did together, and then there's another guy on it named Arlo who's a producer.
Yeah.
And so it was the three of us, and it was
Sick.
just like super. It's like part of it was a little bit more like in that UK world inspired, but I have a hard time like claiming credit in that world because that's like not like that's like borrowing from other people's genres, you know. But I think it's like has some of that influence, and then the second drop is like kind of a nod to that 2016 like future bass.
I hear it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Bet You Didn't Need.
I do hear like
I'm gonna
that UK
go
swing
download
though.
that right
Yeah,
now.
it definitely has like a little bit of that like in it, but yeah, someone joked that my big songs just need to have need in them because I just need
I just
them.
need.
And now they're like my two biggest songs on Spotify. It's so funny.
Well, we
but yeah,
needed
it's-
it.
Yeah, let's go. Fuck
Yeah, that I really dig that style right now. I love all the like really like major synths and everything. It makes me feel like it like has that same effect. You know, we were talking about the Chris Lake song On and On earlier off camera, but it has that same effect to me of like I almost feel like I'm watching like this visualizer, and it's like animated, and it's like in a like neon city or
Let's go.
something.
Let's go.
Like that's the vibe that it gives
I
me.
hear it, yeah.
And
Love that, man.
I absolutely love that vibe. It's just like it just sounds so nice.
I mean, bro, Chris Lake is so goated.
yeah, he really is.
Yeah, I mean, he's when his album came out, it definitely gave me a lot more, I guess, confidence to lean into putting out a little bit more, I guess, like more like house specific stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, I think a lot of the songs on this project are like, would 16-year-old Daniel send it in the group chat and be like, what genre is this? And I feel like that conversation would be like, yeah, but like, why did he do future bass in like the second drop? You know what I mean?
Love it.
So, like, I don't know,
It's
that's
so good.
yeah, it's a fun like filter to run stuff through. And I obviously like, you know, of course, I'm like such a massive Disclosure fan too, and I think I tried to channel a little bit of that in there. But similar to I Just Need, I mean, this was, I don't want to say it was a 20-minute idea. I think this one took a little bit more time, but it was like a one session idea, and it really was similar. I didn't think it was going to come out, and then I just the big difference between now and I Just Need era was I'm playing a bit more shows now, and so I've had the luxury of testing it out, and I weirdly just started throwing it into sets, and I was like, why does this work? You know, because it's like pretty low key, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a big room. It's not like some crazy.
No, for
you know,
sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
just a
oh, like,
vibe.
yeah, it's just, but it fits into the set, and it's like a cool down moment that like chills people out.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, you know.
I think there's a lot of people like doing that right now. I don't know if you know. Do you know Atura? Are you
Oh, yeah, of
familiar?
course, of course,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
my boy. So
Yeah.
we go way back.
Porter
I think it was,
Robinson moment, right? With
Yeah,
him
I was
recently?
telling
Yeah.
this story over on when we had our episode with Wax, but him and I go way back because he did like this song back when I was in college, and I did a dance video to it.
No way.
And this is before I was doing social media or whatever.
Wow.
And so like years later, he reached out and was like, "Dude, like holy shit, you like blew up in the scene." And then he started making music again, and then he started blowing up in the scene recently. And so yeah, we've been trying to plan a day to hang out, but I feel like
he's on tour with demo tapes right now. I think.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome!
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think like all of that, like the Starjunk sound,
So
like
fire.
yeah, like that's it's starting to like come up again. I think Shift Key also is
Yep.
like another one that's
Yep.
doing it.
Yep.
So that actually kind of leads me into the question I was going to ask you, which is like, what would you describe as like your sound right now?
I just had a
Yeah.
bead of sweat fall down my chest when you said that. I honestly think that it fills a lot of pockets, and I hate being the artist that says like, oh, I like all these different things, because I really do. But I would say that in like modern dance music today, there are, I think, two predominant lanes, and there's like bass music and there's house music. And I think obviously within house music, there's more techie music, there's more like melodic forward music. And I'd like to think that I kind of am in that Venn diagram sliver. You know what I mean? That kind of touches a little bit of both things. You know, I even on that EP, I put out the song with Louis the Child. That was like a weird halftime clubby record.
You have a song with Lusa Child, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
we
didn't
have
even
two.
see-
I did one on.
Oh,
I did one on their album last year, and then we just put one out together on my EP.
Whoa.
And that one, maybe that's the other one I can play.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one, that is like a more of like a weird, like experimental bassy thing. So I like to think that there's this Venn diagram that exists between like pretty emotional music, because I think that's just like what I think is a natural type of music for me to make. But I also like making some heavier stuff too. So I would say like that's probably whatever that Venn diagram is to me. And obviously some of it has like the UK elements, some of it has like more pretty stuff, some of it even I made like a Stephanie flip that I feel like everyone's made a Stephanie flip, but it was literally just like a full bass Stephanie flip that really goes off my shows. That's full bass music.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Nice.
So yeah, I've always struggled with that. I really wish that I could be an artist that was like, oh, like this is my thing and that I could focus on, but I'm just so like ADD and freaking like,
there's nothing wrong with that. you
yeah,
know?
so I'm whatever that Venn diagram of like that gray area is kind of I think where I am.
For sure.
So
I feel like TikTok would consider your music stutter house. So how would you respond to that?
I mean, I honestly don't have any issue with anyone thinking like what genre like I am or am not. I just hope that people like the message that I'm trying to get out there. You know what I mean? And if Stutter House is like, you know, a wave, especially, which was such a big wave when I was putting out I Just Need, I actually think that song, maybe one of the reasons it did well is because I think like I wasn't trying to make a Stutter House song. I think I just kind of made a cool song with Lyra, and then it came out during that era, and the timing worked out really well, you know?
Yeah.
But I think I've always just been like, you think of it however, like be as open-minded and as creative and however you want to explain it, as long as you have an understanding of the message that I'm trying to get across, I'm happy with any title, you know?
Yeah, I feel like actually now that I think about it, any song that I've heard from you, the most recent one I think was Start to Slip. And
hell yeah.
And I feel like every time I hear it, I'm like, it's not consistent to any one thing, because you know that song's a little faster, it's a little more like in the speed garage lane, you know. So I think that's super interesting. I wanted to also ask like a follow-up question to that, which was I mean, given that you kind of started with hip-hop, so I mean we did read, you know, do some research on your background. We saw that like, you know, you grew up with a lot of hip-hop rap artists and stuff. What would you say is like the consistent factor throughout, you know, what you prefer to hear in music, right? So like progressing through, you know, you liking hip hop, then finding electronic music. What's like the one constant that's always been there?
I think the reason that I got into hip hop is there was a smaller barrier between the artist and the person behind the artist. And I think in electronic music, there is a lot of like very like branding forward stuff that is very much like a show, and it's very much like a very music forward experience. But I think the through line that I kind of look through in music that I listen to personally is like the person behind the art as well. And I think that's why I think he does really well, and I think it's someone that I've always been into is like Fred again, because you can very much like see who Fred is as a human being.
Totally.
And even like in the early Odessa days, like they were doing vlogs. Skrillex in the early days was doing Alice of Japan vlogs.
True.
You know, like Skrillex has always been deemed as like this like kind of mysterious, larger than life guy, because in very many ways he is. I think he's one of the best producers literally ever created.
Of all time,
you know, and I could glaze Skrillex for hours.
I think we all could here.
But one thing that people don't really realize is like he kind of built his world around who he is as a person and like the community that he builds. And
absolutely.
To me, that's like a through line that I kind of look for in music is like who is the person behind it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think I mean I agree with everything you said. I think that's kind of in a way like what sometimes is missing in a lot of the EDM space is I think and that's actually one thing that we strive to do like on the podcast, which is, you know, humanize the people, the artists themselves, who really I feel like don't get too much of an opportunity aside from like making content, you know, to be able to do that. And that's the thing is like that not every artist wants to do that.
For sure.
And so, but I do think that, you know, there is like so much more beyond just the art that does contribute to the art itself, right? Which is, you know, obviously the person's personality.
I mean, and it's not, I don't think it's genre specific either. Like, I feel like with Levity, you know who PJ John and Josh are.
100,000%,
like,
yeah.
They fully get it across. And I think that's fascinating, because a lot of more like traditionally more bass acts have always, I think, hidden behind some sort of a lens of like, this is my like alter ego.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which again,
Yeah.
there's artistically, I fully understand that and think that's a beautiful thing in its own right. But yeah, I think when they hear like, oh, like someone's personality can get through, like not everyone has to do it in like the pretty Fred again way. Like you can be like, you know, PJ and just be a goofball. You know what I mean? Like and I don't know. I think that social media is definitely brain rot in a lot of ways, and there's like a lot of like problems with it in my view. But I think that there are certain beauties with it, and like the way that I approach my social media, for example, is I just try to be like my own creative director. Like my Instagram is like me being my creative director of my music. You know what I mean? But I think it is kind of a beautiful thing, because as I think about every artist that I've ever been into my whole life, I feel like there's always been a deeper connection beyond the music. The music is always number one. It's like I'm always gonna be a proponent of like the songs have to come first. But I think everyone that I've really, I think, had an understanding of, or feel like we almost kind of know each other without knowing them. You know, like when I met Skrillex for the first time, I was like, this makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I met San Holo for the first time, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. You know, and I think it's because I always like the music kind of aligns, but I don't know, like having that degree of humanity, because we're all doing the same shit and we're all like trying to just survive. You know what I mean? And I think that finding that kind of common ground is like a very like powerful thing, and everyone can do it in their own way regardless of what genre you make.
I 100%
That's
agree.
literally how I felt with Millennium when I met him.
Oh my god, he's the king of that.
Dude, he's so nice.
Yeah.
Amazing guy.
I've actually never met him, but
He's great.
I've heard he's like the best dude ever.
Best.
And he has like one of the most powerful stories in all of electronic music, literally, or all of music, just period. You know?
Yeah, I feel like as the scene expands to the audience, especially because social media and EDM are kind of like growing together, and the audiences are like valuing authenticity more now, whereas, you know, before it was new and it was fresh and it was just whatever was in front of you that got your attention. But now, especially the longer that you are within the scene, it's like, who are you as a person?
People want to connect with more.
I mean, I've talked to John and PJ about this, and like their whole perspective is like when I hope I'm getting this right, but like when their first video started doing well, they kind of attribute a lot of that to it just being shot on an iPhone, because people look at it and they're like, oh, I can do this too. Like this isn't, we're just regular dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So.
Yeah, I think even so I'll take a second to glaze my like number one artist, which is Zed. And so
man.
And
oh my
like
God.
I've gotten the pleasure to meet, you know, Anton, and I would consider us friends at this point in time, but like he is such a like down to earth, humble person. And I feel like even in a lot of his like posts, if you follow him on social media, he's kind of a goofball. Like he likes to fuck around a lot.
Fully.
And I feel like that is one of the reasons why he's still such an adored artist to this day, is because even when he's not putting out new music and stuff, I mean, you know, it took him a long time, obviously, to release Telos, his most recent album. But even in between then, like, people just adore him so much, because I think his personality really stands out in his presence, both on the stage and over social media. So I can really appreciate like that kind of presence, and artists, you know, going further to try and like, you know, put themselves out there like that.
And honestly, the personality doesn't have to only be like, I'm nice or I'm funny or I'm cool. Like what Zed did with Telos, for example, is like he always had that in the back pocket, but then he went on air and he was like, I'm dropping an album even if it's not what social media thinks is cool, because I love art. You know, and like,
100%.
And I think that's
Respect.
a part of it too. You know, like I think part of your personality could also be like how strong of an artist you are. You know what I mean? Like that's totally allowed too. You don't have to just, if you're not like funny or goofy naturally, don't try to do it. You know, just do what you like. You know?
That's what happened when I met, because I just recently met with Seven Lions, and he doesn't talk in his sets, never has. And I was like saying like, oh, you know, like people would love to hear you talk in your sets. He's like, no, I'd rather, you know, I haven't done it for so long and I don't want to start now, because I mean, I just love playing the music. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that so much. Like, you let the music speak for itself.
Yeah, you don't want to be someone you're not. You know, so
this
100%.
conversation kind of made me think of a question. It could be loaded, it could not be loaded, but I'm curious on what your why is. Like, if you're struggling and you're trying to push with, you know, with resilience, and you come back to this one thing, like, what is that?
Yeah, it's always been like 16-year-old me, because I've there are so many other kids out there. I believe there's so many other kids out there that are like too scared to be themselves or too scared to speak up and are like looking for some sort of like guidance, some sort of a reason to like try. And I was that kid. You know what I mean? Like that was fully me in high school. Like I sat in the back of class in pre-cal and I got my very first laptop I ever had. I was like sneaking, trying to learn how to make music in there. And I was like,
That's so
it was
funny.
such a guilty thing for me to like explore, you know? And then when I went out of my way one day and I was like, I'm gonna go for it, like it kind of changed the entire trajectory of my life. Like I can't believe that I live in LA. Like I can't believe that I make songs and tour and play shows. And I think I've always wanted my perspective to be like, there are so many other kids that are out there that have to feel the same way, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
There
and
are.
I kind of just, I guess my why is just like giving people out there permission, you know, to go be themselves.
Or
and
letting
that's-
them know that they don't need permission to be
like
themselves.
like go like
Fuck it.
it's okay, you know, like it's okay to be fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what are we like, we're rave kids, like what the fuck, we're all a little weird.
We're,
Like
yeah,
lean
we're
into
weird for
it.
a living. You know what? Whatever.
So I think I've always and as I've just been posting more online, I've been getting so many messages recently of like what I think are just a bunch of 16-year-old versions of me in a lot of ways. Like they're just like, oh, like I just downloaded Ableton, or like I'm trying to start making music, like, and your video helped me like get over the line and download the software, and I just made my first song. And I feel like that's I don't think any amount of shows or like big songs could really like mean as much as those messages.
Yeah.
So yeah.
100%. I want to also ask you, because you know, I did read that you were doing D1 tennis when you were in college.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how did that contribute to like your decision to make music?
Yeah, tennis is an interesting one because it's like it's an individual sport.
Yeah.
And it's a really lonely sport. And it's like
Interesting.
you don't really like get to like pass to teammates or hang out with
Yeah,
teammates.
there's no like camaraderie.
It's
really.
like it's kind of just you out
Yeah.
there, you know. I think the closest you can probably compare it to is like track and field.
Mhm.
I would say are pretty similar.
Yeah.
But even like in track, you're like running right next to the person. Like tennis is just this isolating experience, and I feel like in a weird way, like tennis kind of gave me the confidence to like try things by myself. You know what I mean? Like going to a music festival by
I love
myself
that,
and
yeah.
whatnot. And so it's always been like I kind of flipped it from being this like lonely sport to like you like obviously like
It's
all
like
you need, all you
empowering
need is
almost.
you know.
Yeah,
all you need is you,
yeah.
and you're with you more than
I like
you are
that.
other people.
That's
And so,
awesome.
So yeah, it's so funny. I like got so burnt out from it, and in a weird way, like I grew up playing tennis my whole life. It was like such a massive cornerstone of me growing up, and every weekend in high school, you know, I was traveling, playing tournaments, but you know, my family didn't come from a lot of money, so they both immigrated. So I wasn't like traveling the same way that the other kids were traveling. You know, like we were doing the rotisserie chickens and we were doing the whole thing, and I got super burnt out from it. And it's really interesting that music's ended up being my career because it was always my outlet from how like strenuous tennis was, and now it's really interesting because music is my career and tennis has gone back to being my hobby.
Yeah.
And it's like a really interesting like flippening.
Yeah.
You know?
That was
And
like, yeah. Sorry, I
is
can
it
relate.
like dance like for you?
It's like dance and also baseball. I grew up playing baseball.
Oh, no
So
shit.
now kind of, I mean, I'm not playing baseball, like, but I was on a softball team for a
Let's
little bit
go.
out here.
Love that.
So yeah, and I do want to go back to it. I've just been really busy, but I totally relate to what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I like follow tennis closer than I ever have before.
That's so funny.
And like I've kind of forced all of my friends to, you know, because tennis isn't like that popular.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like my videographer Mark, like we just did a show in New York, and he was like, "Yo, like the U.S. Open is happening right now." I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "We should go." Like Yannick Sinner's playing tennis. I was like, "Damn," you know,
That's so
like
funny.
he was not into tennis before me
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
got him hooked.
You know, I definitely
Love
like
that.
convinced him. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. We're about at the end of the segment, so we'd love to hear another track, perhaps that Louis
Sick.
the
Oh,
Child
yeah,
one.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
want to
it
show
is.
it, up to you. Oh, let's do it. Okay, sick.
Yeah, I think this is actually also like another weird indicator of the stuff that I'm into. Hold on, let me find it. Let's go on Spotify.
Hey, do you listen to the same music that you make?
Never.
Never.
It's
What do you
so
listen
funny.
to?
I listen to like Brian Eno. I listen to like either ambient music or like hard dubstep. I'm a weirdo. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love
that.
I like
that.
grew up on Scooter. If you know Scooter, he's like a German like 160 BPM hard style techno guy.
No, but I
Wow.
love German rap.
Oh my god.
Do you know Inkmail? I don't know if you listen.
I feel like
Mill.
San has maybe told me about.
Inky Mill. Oh my gosh, she's an incredible
Yeah, I'm
artist.
just so odd. The more and more I think about it.
I mean, that's good though. That's where you kind of draw inspiration from.
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Like
I'm
the
actually
most.
curious to get your reaction to this song. Like,
Okay.
it's a weirdo.
I'm curious.
All right. This is me, Lewis the Child, and Stress Head.
He's lit. Oh, I like this.
I can kind of see like the influence though from both of you guys,
Weird, right?
Fire.
Such a weird song. It does so many things.
No, I love the soundscape though.
Thank you.
Ooh. That's so cool. It's completely out of left field.
So weird, right? Yeah, it's definitely.
I
like,
love it though.
It's definitely like a moment at shows where people are like, it's the first like ooh moment. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. No, I like that a lot.
Everyone's like, ooh.
Yeah. What's that called?
Club Weapon. We couldn't think of a
Sing
better
it.
name, and that
No,
was like
it's
the
perfect.
original.
It's perfect.
That was the
Right
original
now.
project file name.
That's so sick.
So, yeah.
Dude, no, that was awesome. Thank you. I'm a like longtime fan of Lewis the Child.
Same.
They were like my second favorite artist. Like
Wait,
growing
who's
up.
number one?
Zed.
Oh, yeah,
Zed. But yeah, no, it was like Zed, Lewis the Child, Seven Lions were like my top three.
Dude, Strangers is still one of the best songs of all time.
that is in
Yeah.
my top five.
Bro, you
It's
don't-
actually it's my
Iconic!
top
Bro.
two.
That song is the reason why I got into melodic dubstep like back in like 20. I can't even remember.
Yeah, my favorite song is Spectrum by Zed.
Oh my god,
And then
dude, that's like why I only play piano in E flat is because Spectrum was the
Really?
first song I learned.
Oh,
yeah.
it's so funny. That's so funny. Oh, so good.
Bro, Spectrum is such a
Yeah.
goated fucking song.
But yeah, Lewis the Child, like I've been listening to them since they did oh my god, what's the song called?
Strange?
No, before that. Like it was there was a remix they
We-
did by oh my
Compass,
god.
Compass by
no,
Zed,
before
yeah.
that.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
fucking
wait, it's
early.
gonna
Devin's showing his age.
It's gonna bother
Yeah,
me
really.
if I don't find it right now, so let me find it. I just
Crazy. That was the first song they ever put on Spotify in 2014.
no, Mastodon.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there was Genghis Khan was in that era as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, when we there's a whole saga, like me and Lewis the Child saga, so like they were like my number one artist for sure.
Yeah.
For the longest time. And I remember like it was like my freshman year of college and I was just fucking rinsing every single thing that they were doing. And eventually like, you know, I moved to LA, like I did the thing and I would see them out more. I would see Robbie out like more and more. And eventually, like I remember one time I did a session with this is years ago, it's like 2021. I did a session with Win and Woo, and they showed me like a song.
Throwback.
Yeah, they had showed me the song that they have with Lewis the Child, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm like such a fanboy, you know. And I think I've been to like 12 Lewis Child shows. And then eventually, Austin from Win and Woo invites me over to Robbie's house, and I had never met him before. And he was like, I'm doing a session with Rob, like you should come. And I literally give myself like a pep talk. I was like, just don't fuck this up. You know what I mean?
Did you talk in the mirror and everything?
Dude, everything. Like
Nice.
I brought and so what I did was on my way to the session, I bought Pop-Tarts because I'm like even if this goes horribly, at least he'll
you
At
remember
least I
me.
brought Pop-Tarts.
At least they'll remember me as the guy who brought Pop-Tarts.
What kind of Pop-Tarts?
I literally bought like 12 flavors, like one for every Louis the Child show I've been
That's
to.
so funny.
I bring him over, and Rob was like, he's like sitting there, and he's so humble, like where I didn't know how to play it because I could have like just like tried to kiss him, you know what I mean? Like I didn't really know I was so into their music, and I was like, and he's just like sitting there, and he's like, so what do you do? Like, what kind of music do you make? And I was like, yeah, like it's kind of like same, like freaking out, didn't know how to tell him, and then so I obviously I didn't know what to do, so I was like, what about you? You know, and he was like, yeah, I'm in a duo, and I was like, cool. I'm like, at what point do I like tell him that I'm obsessed with him? I couldn't really find a way to like break it to him. Anyways, like we worked that whole day, and like I got his number, and then over the years, I kept inviting him to like these little shows that I would try to throw for myself.
Yeah.
And he was just always like probably like too busy, but he always gave me the time of day and like always responded. And then I remember around the time that I Just Need came out, he texted me because I never wanted to like be the person that was like bugging him to like where I wanted it to be organic, and I didn't want to ever ask. Like that was always like my dream collab for the longest time. And I remember I had like an EP that was coming out like in 2023, and I Just Need had just come out, and Rob texted me. He was like, would you be down to do like a guest mix for Playground Radio? And I was like, yeah, like of course, let's do it. And I know that Rob is like very big on curation, and so I only put my own music. I put all of my own music in that mix, and one Black Eyed Peas song, Rock That Body, like the original, no remix.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And I knew he would listen to the whole thing front to back. I put like 12 unreleased songs in it.
Mm-hmm.
And why do I keep fixating on 12? And he
It's your number.
yeah, I guess so. And he eventually was like, let's work together. We did a session. We ended up doing a song called Falling that was on their last album. And in March, I'm in Vegas with him, and we're in a club, and the song had just come out. Like I was in Vegas with him because we were like celebrating the release of the record. And I just turned to him and I was like, I'm such a massive fan of Louis the Child. Like I literally was like, bro, just because we have a song out, I hope like that doesn't mean I'm like you think I'm I'm less of a fan. You know, like I'm obsessed with your all's music, and I like just told him the whole thing, and he just hugged me. Like he fully, I was like, I'm being so weird right now, bro. And I had a couple beers. I was like, oh god, Daniel, don't be this fucking like drunk idiot right now. I'm like, bro, I was like, yeah, I was on one, and he was like, love you, man. I was like,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
What a beautiful story to end the episode. We're gonna get that a clip for sure.
Yeah.
Well, damn, thank you for telling that story.
I know,
That's
dude,
awesome.
It's such a like ridiculous.
That's
one.
awesome.
Love it.
Keep striving for what you guys do, and keep working at your goals, because you never know, you just might meet your hero someday. So
Yes.
So true.
like really though. But yeah, we are at the end of the episode, so I want to go ahead and wrap us up. If you didn't already know, we do have a Patreon, which is the best way to go and support us. But we're gonna go hop on over there right now and listen to some music. What is going on over there?
We're doing the name.
We're gonna put the names.
Oh
of,
yeah,
like a
yeah.
movie.
I'll have our names.
Like a movie.
James, if you could please have the names, or no,
Like a
Robert.
movie.
Robert, if you could please have the names
Like a
pop up right
movie.
now. So,
Scroll down.
anyways,
Ending credits.
you can go over and check that out. We have bonus content over there. We do early access to episodes. Priority Q&A, exclusive playlists, all that stuff. So definitely go and check that out. And even if you don't support the Patreon, though,
We still love you.
all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. So
Wait,
we'll see you.
wait.
Oh yeah, I always forget.
Plug yourself.
What?
Anything. Plug
Yeah,
yourself.
so what do you
Anything
have
that
coming
have
up?
coming
Shows.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy stress ball. Okay. I'm Daniel. I love making music. I just put out an EP called Time Well Spent. You should go check it out. I have no idea what I'm doing next. I'm probably just gonna make a bunch of videos about this EP and try to make them as cool as I can. But you should come check it out if you like weird electronic music and you're not exactly sure what genre you're into.
Yeah, I love it.
Highly
love it.
support, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you have any? You don't have any shows or anything coming up in the near future?
I'm doing like a tour with Bunt next
Oh,
week, which
cool.
is yeah,
Sick.
Yeah, he's the man, and then I'm doing like Breakaway Sacramento.
Nice.
And then I'm stupid. Yeah,
No,
I
you're
do.
not.
I have my two biggest headline shows I've ever played in my life. I have Chicago at Chop Shop November 21st, and then I have
Nice.
the El Rey Theater December 19th in LA. Which, by the way, the El Rey first venue that I ever went to when I moved to LA. It was like my welcome to LA moment.
Wow,
Sick.
you and your like
Bro,
circle.
I'm telling you,
full circle
it's
moments.
like a theme I'm realizing in my
That's
life.
You're aligned right
And
now.
I went to the El Rey Theater. I saw Jana play, and it was my first time at a electronic show, like backstage, because I was like friends with the openers or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And it just all felt so scary and so big. And like I went there the other day, and my name was on the marquee, and I was like, holy shit!
That's so
El
fun.
Rey Theater December 19th.
Hell yeah!
Let's
Congrats
go.
on that. Go
Cool.
check it out. Yeah.
Or else.
Yeah. Or else
Or
we'll
else.
come and find you. Just
We'll
kidding.
also give
we
you
won't
a
do that.
big
We know where
hug.
every one of you live. Whoa.
We'll also give them a big hug. We want to encourage them to go to the show, not to not go to the
But what
show.
if they want to
I will never let
so
go.
They come to the
If
show.
you come to
Yes,
the show,
if you come to the
hug
show,
is
we'll give you a
included.
hug.
Yeah, there we
Yes,
go.
that's what she meant to say.
Yep.
Well, no, if you don't go, I'll give you a hug so you could come to the next one.
That works too. No pressure.
All right, guys, we'll see you soon.
Oh wait, no, don't forget to like, subscribe,
Wait,
turn
thank
the
you so
bell
much for having me.
notification on.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
yeah,
Yes,
you're
of
so
course.
welcome.
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
yeah.
Sorry,
So-
you could say that in a second, but thanks for having me. This was,
Yeah, dude,
this was
of
awesome.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
thank
guys
you
are-
for
Thanks for
coming.
being
You guys
here.
are such a like cultural landmark in electronic
Thank
music,
you,
so
man.
I'm
That means a
very
lot.
like
Wait,
like
really?
honored to be here. So
Stop.
thank you guys. Yeah.
That's so sweet of you
Anyways,
to
yeah,
say. Thank
do
you.
the notification thing you were saying. Sorry, I cut you
That's
off.
so sweet of you to say. Thank you.
Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, bye.
All right, see you guys.
Comment.
See you in the bonus.